Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron Reed and Anna who's here from my team. She is the head mistress of magic and transformation. That is her title in Oracle School. So she's here to ask me some questions. We're going to have a conversation. And what are we talking about today?
Hi, Colette. We are talking about claiming and how that's an important piece of your spiritual journey.
Right. Claiming and commitment are synonymous with the other. You know, you commit to owning your dream. You commit to claiming this for yourself instead of being wishy-washy. You know, I think we come into this world thinking that, especially when in times of deep uncertainty, you know, we all have been through this in a big way on a global level. Lots of, you know, a sense of, wait, the ground beneath my feet is no longer stable. So therefore you think because something happened and there becomes like almost like a PTSD reaction to it, you think that all the dreams that you had and all these aspirations kind of went out the window because you're looking for that certainty. But the truth is you have to claim the dream inside. It's an inside job. It's not about claiming it out there. It's about claiming it in here and really making a commitment to that, not just the action plan that you might have for your life or, you know, those things that you can see. It's claiming what is invisible to you now and having the patience to allow that to emerge in front of you over time, instead of like expecting it all in the moment. So that claiming is really about the first idea, the dream you have for yourself, and giving yourself permission.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask because I was wondering if you feel that claiming, people don't claim because they're afraid, they don't think that they're allowed.
And let's talk about permission, right? I mean, in Oracle School, don't we see all our students go through this where they're afraid to claim? You know, they say, I have this dream, but I'm afraid to claim it. There's too many blocks in front of me, and the blocks are all internal. It's all about conditioning and our expectations. So there's a real need to surrender all of that and say, wait a minute, I'm worthy of claiming this inside. And that's first and foremost, it has to be inside. And that's also related to another video you and I did about shadow work, right? It's like
Right.
moving away the obstacles to that claiming. And it can be done so effortlessly. It's not hard. It's not hard.
Yeah, I think what we see a lot with particularly our new students
Yeah.
is that they don't believe that they have permission to be happy
Oh, the happy part. Yes.
and to do this work.
Because I think, and that's so true. I mean, it's the idea that shouldn't I be really serious all the time doing transformative work? It's serious work. But both and is possible. You can be happy, you can be joyful, you can love, you can be compassionate, you can be all those things at the same time as doing the deeper work that can be painful and can be difficult. And it doesn't stay painful and difficult all the time. It's really the initial feelings of doing that. But yeah, you can give yourself to be goofy, to be happy, to be joyful at the same time. And I do think there's a narrow idea about how, oh, transformative work has to be very narrow, very rigid, and very painful and dark, you know what I mean? And like the shadow
Yeah.
is always there. And that's not it at all. We have a very gentle, playful, compassionate way of doing this. And we've seen it ourselves that it quickly allows people to realize that they can give themselves permission to do that. Because we've actually created something that sets it up that way. And Oracle Palooza is like that too. Remember how many people come into that all like, oh, you know, like, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, I get to do this? I get to have the time of my life while looking deeply into my soul and realizing
Right.
that all my complexities are perfect and, you know, and wait a minute, I do have a dream and I can become this dream and I can really claim it. I can name it, I can claim it, and I can be it. Yeah, you know, and I can be happy too without bypassing the stuff that's painful. You can still be happy.
Yes, because I think something that we see often with people struggling is that concept that you've talked about called crabs in a bucket. So then we're so concerned about what others think of us, we can't give ourselves that permission.
That is a really difficult one because our entire society is built like that. Look at social media, for example, right? You have your filters, you want to look a certain way, whatever. It's to elicit a response, right? People have to look at this thing that you've created. So you think, oh, what's it going to look like? How's it going to be? And the crabs in a bucket thing is when all the people around you that don't want you to change, that are triggered by your change, that are, oh, they're not willing to do the work, but you are. Oh no, they got to bring you down. They got to bring you back because you're trying to crawl out of the bucket. So there's that on top of the fact that you may be your own little crab grabbing your other little crab inside your own bucket in your head, right? Like, I want it. No, you don't. Like, come back to your comfort zone. And then it does become this funky little dance that we do, inside ourselves. Like, I see myself. No, you don't. I see myself. No, you're not allowed. I see myself. You'll be hurt. I'll say, right? It's like 4 steps forward, 5 steps sideways, fall on your face, get back up. And it's like that, but I do want to say too that one phrase that you said, we do have to be mindful of the fact that when we step into a transformative journey, we make a decision. We want to become this version of ourselves that maybe hopefully it's an improved version of ourselves, right? Or this where we have more to offer others and more to offer ourselves and less about the conditioning. It can really threaten some of the people around us who are afraid of us changing. So that does come up, and that is a real thing. So people can feel like, what will I do if I move beyond my husband, for example? Like a lot of that happens, right? Go ahead.
No, because that leads to the other thought of the people pleasing, we have to be a certain way to make those around us comfortable and happy.
Oh my God. Now, I am a recovered people pleaser. So because I was raised to believe that the only way that I could get my needs met was to figure out what that person needed, right? The other person needed, so that I could get what I needed. It was like this thing. And I learned that from, actually, my mom was a lot like that. It was never a straightforward thing. And, there's the idea that we want everybody to be happy. And a lot of healers have that. We want to heal everybody. We feel compelled, to heal the world and to feel that we could relieve someone else of their pain. And that can get very twisted. That could be a shadow piece that we talked about in the other video, right? Where that's not good for me. To please you takes away from me, or to please you would be diminishing myself, because we can do that, where we give our power away to someone else, hoping that if we do the right thing for them, they won't hurt us, for example. Right? And that's a lot of the core of people pleasing. And we do notice that a lot, and we talk about it a lot in our school, that comes up for healer types, for empaths, for people who are in service. And they're like, oh, but if I do that, and then it turns into, well, will they like me? And then it's like, okay, well, that's not working out.
Right. Because we even have, we've come across many they will say to us, I can't ask for that from the universe, from spirit,
right,
because it would take away from someone else.
Right. That's the scarcity concept, that my success could take away from you, which is not true. No, and that's where the whole competitiveness comes in, that there's not enough to go around. There's only one pie, and if there's not so many pieces of the pie, and if you get a piece, that means somebody else doesn't get a piece. And that is drilled into us, from when we were kids. And that's actually a false idea of the universe, which is unlimited. There are unlimited possibilities for everybody. And one person's success never takes away somebody else's success, only when you're projecting the competition model onto it, that I have to be better than you. And that is something that I think takes away from claiming your dream. That idea that we think that we can't claim it because it would somehow impact someone else. And I obviously I see that. Or it would make someone mad. You know what I mean? Or it wouldn't be good enough because somebody else's was better. So there's this kind of a quirky little goblin that we have, and all of us have it to varying degrees, right? I mean, I used to have that a lot when I was young, and I think we evolve as we start trusting more and more the universe, our relationship to the universe, really realizing that our becoming is something that's organic and natural, and it's part of why we're here on the planet. The soul wants to evolve through us, etc. So that once we figure that one out, it's a lot easier to claim our dream because we know that abundance means that what is yours and what is yours to evolve into has nothing to do with anybody else. It's not going to take it away. It's not even a comparison. And that does take a while for us to get through our noggins and to get into our hearts.
Yeah, I really, that's one of the best lessons that you've taught me, is that how there is enough for all of us. And yeah, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
You are so welcome.
But I have one more question. So how do we know when we have found ourselves?
Oh, what a deep and big giant question to throw at me. So I think when we feel like we've come home, and there's a real sense, and I remember you, because you started out as my student, like years ago, right? You were my student, and I just kept watching you evolve and change as you threw yourself into basically everything full tilt, and thinking who is this person that's transforming in front of my eyes? I think she's going to work for me, right? She's going to run my school with me. That's what she's doing. And I do think that, oh, I forgot the question now. I got all excited about you.
Oh my goodness. It's how do we know when we found ourselves?
I think we find ourselves along the way. It's not one destination. Oh, I finally found myself. It's when we have those epiphanies. And we call ourselves epiphany midwives, at Oracle Palooza Virtual, at Oracle School. It's like we midwife somebody else's epiphany. And in that moment, we come home to a part of ourselves where we just land and we just know that this part has been revealed and something is more. There's more to us. There's more understanding about who we are and why we're here, etc. So I think that's an evolving answer. How do we know when we found ourselves? I watched you, obviously. You started with me as a student, evolving and transforming in front of my eyes. Eventually, obviously, I offered you a job and now you're running the school with me. But I was watching you do that very thing, find yourself along the way. And it was fascinating to witness. And I have done the same thing. That's why I do this with people, because I know it's not a one-time destination, that you're not yourself until you are. That is not true. These are moments, these really important moments that determine, this next point in our journey where we know more about ourselves, more about life, we have more compassion. It's just something that evolves. It's the organic blossoming, and then the next evolution of our, blossoming happens. So I just believe that as we grow and as we transform, new parts of us are revealed. And that's when we know, because we really get it. We see it, we feel it in our bodies. And these are moments we talk about all the time in Oracle School, because it's like popcorn, right? Isn't it? It's like we see the students go boing, and another one goes, oh my God. And another one like, me too. And it's like, we just watch them come in, and then all of a sudden, boop, 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 just like, it's like doing popcorn in a machine.
It's so true.
Isn't it? I mean, it is. There's nothing like watching that for me. No, I mean, that's why we do what we do. Just to see that thing when people come home to themselves, when people know that they have found themselves, and then pivot, switch careers, do all kinds of stuff. And we find that transformation typically brings transition, right? Yes. It's like, oh boy, I really want to do this now because I see who I am, right? And it's amazing. I mean, and what better time in our world to do this when we're in the great transformation right now, that, we're in it, like it or not. Why not?
Right.
Why not be more? Why not find more?
I think everybody, you should write down the best thing Colette said right there. You are not yourself until you are.
Right.
Because That's amazing. So I think I would like you to pull a card about claiming yourself and your authenticity.
Okay, so I would say, what do we need to focus on in order to claim our authentic self? And what was the other part of that question?
No, that was perfect what you just said.
That was perfect. Okay. What do we need to focus on in order to claim our authentic self? And the expression of that, which is inspiration and our uniqueness, being able to shine, right? Here we go. This is the map, the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. And I'm pulling this card, Mountain. This is great. So what do we focus on is knowing that our obstacles are part of the journey. This is so crucial. Everybody thinks happy, joyous, and free is it. That, right? That this is a road that has no obstacles. There's no detours. This is like a straightforward A to B. I'm going to be transformed from this to that. No, you meet different things on the road. You come up against things that you must, that's the hero's journey. The hero's journey is always, there's the call and then the hero goes, I'm not going. No, the obstacle is in them. And then they leave anyway, right? And then all these magical things happen. And then there's another obstacle. And then that obstacle brings you to a new place. And as you grow in a resilient way, that's the other thing. Like, in order to claim your authentic life, you have to know that you build resilience when you meet obstacles along the way. And that way you realize, wait a second, this is part of it. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing to blame. I'm not doing it wrong. I'm not doing it wrong if I bump up against an obstacle. I'm not doing it wrong if I don't manifest something the way I wanted to. I'm not doing it wrong. What can I learn about me? How do I reflect from this moment right now? How can I go around it? Do I want to tunnel under it? Should I fly above it? Do I sprout wings? What do I do? But there's these moments along the journey where we have to stop and assess. And that Mountain card is 1000%. I never before would I say, boy, oh boy, I love the obstacle card. But it's so true. People come into these workshops and these ideas that like it's going to be like totally effortless, because there's this idea easy and effortless. Yes, easy and effortless, and then there's an obstacle. And then easy and effortless says, am I going to fight against the obstacle, or am I going to understand the obstacle? It's the understand the nature. That's the curiosity piece. That's what we said earlier about, oh, that's interesting. What does this mean? What do I make it mean? And it is about meaning making. So that's the other part of that answer to your question, right? The card is about making meaning.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant card. And I think that I know we can dive deeper into that at our upcoming event.
Yes, we will be. Well, we will be diving right into that. Yes, we will. That's right. We have an event, Oraclepalooza Virtual. Last year, it was one of those curious things like, I don't know, let's do it and see. And thousands of people came from 53 countries, and we were blown away. And I even said to Mark, I only want to do this. And we are getting to do it again, and I'm so grateful and so happy. And yeah, we're going to dive into everything that we've talked about in a way that feels very, very personal and intimate and amazing. Oraclepalooza Virtual, there's a link somewhere here, up, down, or on the side. I don't know where it is, but you click on it and learn more about it. I hope to see you there. It is pretty spectacular. Thank you, Anna. Thank you for another great conversation. Bye.